just surrendered its chemical weapons. And just days before Sunday's self-imposed deadline, it looks like the job is nearly done. Now, the organization overseeing the destruction of those weapons says Damascus has now removed nearly 90% of its stockpile. Now, one toxic chemical, though, is not on that list. The U.S. and several allies believe Syrian forces may have used chlorine gas in an alleged attack this month. Sarah Seidner reports.
A small boy gasping for air after rebels say a bombing raid struck the Syrian countryside, terrorizing the residents of Tel Menis in Idlib governorate. His condition is bad. Taken to another room, a medic shouts. In another hospital, another room filled with breathless patients. Too many in need, too few supplies. Syrian activists say this 6-year-old did not survive the attack. 100 other people remain alive but injured. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights blames the Syrian military, saying it used a deadly combination of chlorine gas and TNT inside oil drums. Allahu Akbar. Unsophisticated barrel bombs have become a fixture of this now 3-year-long war. Instead of just using shrapnel and explosives, toxic gases seem to have been added to the deadly cocktail. However, we cannot independently verify the details of what has happened in these videos. We were not there during the attack. The al-Assad government has been accused of using barrel bombs again and again on cities and towns across Syria. But the Syrian government insists its military is only fighting terrorists, while the international community does not dispute groups such as al-Qaeda have made their way into this war. Human rights and rebel groups say it is President Assad's government forces doing most of the terrorizing here. And not just with bombs and bullets, but blocking the delivery of food and medicine. In the Palestinian Yarmouk refugee camp, some 18,000 people are again in desperate need of the simplest human necessities. Starvation has come to this camp before. The UN warns it is happening again. The UN Relief Works Agency says 700 parcels of food per day need to be let into the camp to avoid starvation. For nearly 2 weeks, it says, the government has not allowed any food trucks in. Syria's government says rebel groups hidden inside the camp must surrender first. In the midst of the violence, President Bashar al-Assad has begun looking towards Syria's future and his role in it. He has made clear he intends to stay put, announcing presidential elections in June. The move condemned by the United Nations as one that will simply hamper any prospect for a political solution the country so urgently needs. Sarah Seidner, CNN, Jerusalem.